Hello everybody, this is Dr. Novak. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. Well, what you're looking at is the 90-gallon aquarium is now completely empty. A far cry of what it used to look like, but it's ready to go. There's already somebody who said they will take the aquarium, so it needs to be moved. But in this video, I'm going to walk you through some of the things I did for the new 125-gallon aquarium. Some of the prep I had to do and the stand I bought. Okay, this is a temporary tank I put up. Right now, sitting in it is the fish that were in the breeder aquarium. Excuse me. And all the stuff that's in the 90 will be going into this particular holding tank. Then when I'm done with the holding tank, I'll pack it up and it'll be good for in the future if I need to hospitalize any fish or anything else. But for now, it's temporary setup. So let me kind of walk you through what I bought and why I bought it. We'll start with the stand itself. Okay, I went out and bought a metal stand from Amazon on their Amazon sale. The stand cost me about $160. Takes a few hours to put together, but it's all metal, and I prefer to have metal than the stand that comes with the 125-gallon aquariums because there's too many people that complain how bad it is. It's got, it's supposed to be, these doors are supposed to be sealed, so if they get wet, they're not going to get damaged with this aquarium. I think the stand only costs $160 on sale. It's a very well-made metal stand. Supposedly, it's supposed to hold over 2,200 pounds, more than enough to hold the 125. And right now, I'm just seeing how level it is, but there's some things I'm going to get into about the stand and what they give you with the stand. But this is a look of it, and I think it's a pretty nice looking stand. For being metal, you don't have to worry about it. Too many people have complained on the internet about the original stand that comes with the 125, so I bought a separate stand and I bought a separate aquarium. One thing is that there's a little bit of a bow, as you can see with the leveler. So it's not absolutely perfectly flat. And I notice a lot of metal stands for this cost are not going to be perfectly flat. The front is, the back isn't. What they give you is like a cushion. You see it underneath the leveler, the little black, and you put that on the stand to cushion the aquarium. But I just felt that isn't quite enough. So I went out and bought a more cushion off of Amazon, 1/2 inch thick. And I now put that on top to cushion the 125 to make up for the little bit of unevenness of the aquarium stand. It's not unusual. I had the same problem with the 40-gallon breeder stand that you had to put something underneath it because it wasn't quite as flat as you would like it to be. So I went on Amazon and I bought this industrial grade. I think this is for a door. You get 25 feet of it, and this is a 1/2 inch thick. So what I'm going to do is lay this on top to even give it more cushion, so the unevenness is not going to be, well, it's not going to make a problem using this. That's what I found out. That's the only negative I can say about the stand. And this is a package of what they give you with the stand. As you see, it's a lot thinner, but it's easy to put on. So here's what it looks like. As you can see, there's a thin layer. This is what you get with the aquarium. That's on the bottom. Then you'll see the thicker layer on top of that. Now this is the center brace of the stand. The stand only has one brace and that is in the center. But as you notice, I added another thin pad on top of the center brace. So when the tank sinks down, this is where maybe the glass will sit on this to help the glass from bowing, because it doesn't have two braces but only this one metal brace. But that's basically, it's thin, then the 1/2 inch, then the thinner one on top. But on the rest of the aquarium stand, it's just the thin one and the 1/2 inch one. And this should make up then for that unevenness that I showed you in the very beginning with the leveler. Okay, so here's the stand completely done. And as you can see from the top view here, that you have the 1/2 inch with the smaller, I'm going to say that's maybe 1/8 of an inch if you see it on your left and on your right side. But in the very center brace, you see how I have the extra piece there back. So hopefully the glass will sit on that and give the glass reinforcement on the 125 gallon tank. Now this is what I did to make up for the little bit of unevenness of the metal stand itself. Yes, you can buy better stands, but from my research, a better stand going to cost you over $1,000. This is only $160. It is very well made, and that little bit of unevenness I think I can work around by using the foam, but it doesn't look bad. And for the little bit of extra money, I had to buy another pack of foam. Like I said, everything I got was off of Amazon, so it's very easy to find the tools to use to put the aquarium stand together and to make it safe where you have a nice cushion. And all I think is that extra 1/2 inch, I think that's door insulation foam. That's all it is.
What we're looking at here is an Undergravel plate. I decided to go with the 125 Undergravel plates. It would be the easiest, and then I don't have to make anything special. The width of the plate from here to here, of course, is about 12 inches. And the inside of the aquarium's at least 17 inches. So the very front will be just gravel, and the plates will be at the bottom. So about $50 worth of plates is what it's going to cost you to put on the bottom of a 125 aquarium. You'll be getting tubes, airlift tubes, you'll be getting what hooks on, you'll be getting the top, you'll be getting air stones, little carbon additives to the outlets here, and you'll be getting 3 little clips. These clips clip the Undergravel filters together so they'll become one. Here's the Undergravel filter. This is what's going to be fitting inside of the 125 aquarium. So what I have to do now is cut the tabs. You see how they're already on there, and you have these tabs that need to be cut away, and there'll be indentations on the bottom. I don't know if you could see that. Yeah, you could see that. And you just cut them away, and then you can put the tabs on to hold the filter plates together. But I don't know if I'm going to do that or not, but I'll see after I get everything taken apart whether or not I'm going to use the tabs. But I did buy some stainless steel screws so I can literally screw them together instead of using the tabs.
Okay, here's a picture of the plate sitting in the aquarium. And when you put the plates together, they'll have a little bit of a gap. So you know what I did? I just filled that gap in with some hot glue. And I wanted to show you this because I didn't want any gravel or anything falling in between the plates. I thought that would get in the bottom of there, and I didn't want that. So it was no big deal. I have a hot glue gun, and I just put hot glue in the seam after they're put together. I slid the whole Undergravel filter plate into the aquarium, and that's it. We're pretty much done. Okay, so this is what the plate's going to look like. You got about 6 inches in front of the plate, as you can see, that's not going to have a plenum. That's okay. Basically, the whole length of the tank is going to be a plenum. I only had the brick on there because it was the plates, after I got them all together, little warping, so I figured a nice heavy brick with the heat of the garage will bring the plate completely flat, which it did work. But as you notice, if you look at your left-hand side in the back there, you will see the uplift tube. And as you can see, I painted it black. And I used a fusion paint or whatever paint you can paint to plastic. And so I painted it black so it doesn't become so obvious. The bottom part, I left clear plastic. And the top tube and the outlet part, I sprayed. And let it dry for about, I would say 2 to 3 days. Make sure it's really dry. That way it doesn't become as visible. It doesn't stick out. And as you can also see, if you look on the left-hand side, that this tube, I have a tube on either end. One tube will handle 3 feet of the plenum. The tube on the right-hand side will handle the 3 feet on the other side. And as you can see on the right side, it's at the very end also. And that will take care of the 3 feet, because since the tank is 6 foot long. So actually, when I have it all set up, you really won't be able to see the uplift tubes. But there is one thing I didn't want to make a comment right here. You know, I see a lot of YouTube videos, right? And you see people, they use a lot of bubblers. Some people will use them for a sponge filter, which personally, putting a sponge filter, even in a big 125-gallon aquarium, it looks kind of unsightly to me. And I know why they do it. They do it because they want to biological, and they also want it to be mechanical. But I do see a lot of people just put bubblers in their tank. Now, if you're going to put a bubbler in your tank, right, to agitate the water surface, why not put that bubbler to work? Besides it just agitating the surface, right, to create more oxygen, well, make it so to use on an uplift tube for your plenum. So it does double the work. Not only is it going to move water through the plenum, but it's also going to create oxygen in the aquarium, and you're putting your bubbler to work then, instead of just having it cosmetically bubble in the aquarium. Okay, so this is an aquarium. You know what, I was surprised. I ordered this from, I think it was Pet Warehouse, and they delivered it. And the thing I looked at when I got this aquarium, which I did not know when I ordered it, is it had black silicone. And boy, was I glad to get that versus the clear silicone. But after looking at the aquarium, I guess the Aquarium is the upper echelon, if you want to say, of the aquarium. You know, they have top fin aquariums, and I heard they have marine land aquariums, and those aquariums are made cheaper. But after looking at the aquarium and the way it was built and the seams and everything and how much silicone was used, this looks, to me, visually looks just as good as any special order aquarium that you would pay quite a lot of money for. And here's something I wanted to show you. See that brace there? It's a real nice, thick, heavy-duty brace. The braces, there's 2 of them, and each brace has extra plastic on the bottom of it. The brace is about 2.5 inches wide, so it's a pretty wide brace, and they're about 20 inches apart, each brace. So there's 2 braces. Also on the bottom, as you can see by the photograph, they also put the same braces on the very bottom of the aquarium. This is so the hold the aquarium together so it doesn't bow. But On some aquariums, those braces are real thin and flimsy. These are not, and they're real nice, and they're tight and everything else. I noticed that they siliconed the whole top piece on. It does tell you when you get the aquarium, don't pick it up by the top. Only pick up the aquarium by the bottom. I took the packaging off. But I did wanted to show you that if you are going to get one of these, I would definitely go with an aquarium. It seems to be made quite well, if I do say so myself. And of course, the black silicone, as we all will agree, looks better because it doesn't show up any algae that gets in the corner of your aquarium after it starts getting older. And it just cosmetically to me looks better. So anyhow, so this short video was just made so you could see how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to put it in the lanai. And when I get it all put together, which will be tomorrow, I have people coming over to help me lift the aquarium, put it on the stand. The 90-gallon will be taken and put that. There's already somebody who already wants dibs on it. We'll see if they come and get it or not, but they contacted me and said they want the 90-gallon aquarium. So they'll get that. I'll have them move it into the garage. But that's it for this video. But I did wanted to show you that these are things that I bought. Doesn't mean you have to buy them. And these are things I did with the stand in order to make it so the tank sits so it doesn't crack or bend or bow. So until next time, this is Dr. Novak. Thank you for watching.